13 love, 13 knowledge, 13 wisdom, 13 respect. Today we're going to be looking into angels, ETs, messengers, light beings, those kind of terms that we've been taught with imagery that presents it as a real narrative to bring forth belief and faith, right? A lot of times people need to have some kind of imagery to know what they're comprehending or perceiving and what they're being learned and educated by, right? So I was born and raised in a Christian home, so the terms of God, Christ, angels was part of the narrative of my belief and faith, right? Because we're taught that in the Bible, and we get pictures, much like this one, to kind of give us an idea of what may be presented to us through visions, dreams, physical encounters, things of that nature. And if you're familiar with me, you know that I've said that through visions and dreams, things are symbolic, and a lot of it is used through your imagination. So like the term light being, let's see if I can give you an example here. But a light being is just going to be forms of colors and auras and things of that nature. So sometimes that may not make sense to you. So they're going to use something from your database to help you comprehend what is speaking to you. So therefore an angel like this may be presented to you as well. So this is kind of an older picture. And you know, we're taught that angels have wings, but if we kind of look into things a little more into detail, right? There's a scripture I was going to look up, but I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. But there's some scriptures out there that kind of give you an explanation of what these beings look like. So, I mean, if things are of colors and vibrant frequencies, so if things are spiraling around, you know, and there's spiraling energy in the back, it could look like wings, right? So we just have to look at the narrative of what they were trying to speak out, and they're bringing it into modern times now because we're learning new stuff every day. I was hoping I could do a slideshow here. I don't think I can. I'm sure there's a way. Alright, let's continue on. So I mean, that's basically what we're looking at, and we got to view it as this, right? So we have this little kid here laying down, and we're told, you know, that we have guardians, guides, and angels, right? An advocate that watches over us. And if you didn't know, from the time that your soul goes into your mother's womb, right? Your soul goes into your mother's womb. The guardian or guide or guides, could have more, come down with you, right? It's kind of like a soul guardian. So it presents your soul into this world, and it guides and protects it. But that guide and guardian is not allowed to make decisions for you. Now, if you make a poor decision, you have a quest in life, that guardian will step out, and then some of the miracles will happen. Be like, oh man, I should have died from this accident, or you know, how did I survive this fall? Things of that nature. So that's where your guide or guardian is going to come in and protect you, because you were not supposed to have that accident. It happened, but that accident was a probability, but it wasn't supposed to happen. So that guide and guardian can assist, but that guide and guardian cannot make you fulfill your mission. But through meditation, you can actually start interacting with your guardian, and then you can start to learn more as well. Each one of us has a guide or guardian. Could be 2, 3. You know, you have to find that out for yourself. But once you interact with your guardian, things make more sense. You're protected better, because that guardian's like, oh hey, you know, he recognizes I'm here, so awesome. So that's what we're kind of looking at, right? We're told this, but we don't understand or comprehend it because we're not told how to interact with these guardians. We just assume that we're protected. But when you find out you can actually interact with these beings, that's a whole other story. Through meditation, through prayer, there's a lot of awesome things that can be presented to you. Let's continue on here. So we're just going to kind of look at different images here. So like this is supposed to be, I think, Gabriel. Again, another being that we're told is an angel. But again, if you look into the word angel in the Hebrew text, simply means a messenger. And a messenger it's very vague. Like that's all it's called, is a messenger. So is it a messenger from the physical reality? Is it a messenger from the spirit realm? Is it a messenger from the stars and it descended down? It's very vague and it doesn't tell you. So when the Bible was translated, they're like, okay, how can we distinguish these messengers, right? So they created the word angelos. I believe that's what it is. So let's go into here and into here. Alright, so an angel is a supernatural being of various religions. The theological study of angels is known as angelology, whatever. Abrahamic religions often depict them as benevolent celestial beings that mingle with the Creator and humanity. Other roles include protectors and guides for humans, which we talked about, and servants of the Creator. Abrahamic religions describe angelic hierarchies which vary by sect and religion, and that's where things become of human knowledge, and then there is universal knowledge, right? So religion is a human term that has nothing to do with universal order. It is programs, and that's something you have to figure out. Again, born and raised in a Christian home, my foundation is with Christ. That's what I know. That's who my guide is, and that's who helps me link up with the Creator. So even if I read this stuff, right, my belief and faith is still in that foundation. So you got to be able to look at what your faith and belief is and continue to expand upon it. So when it says sect and religion, we got to look at human terms and universal terms. Some angels, messengers, have specific names as Gabriel, Michael, things of that nature, which again, go back to the Hebrew text, those words don't exist. Check it out, it's very interesting. Now, however, the seraphim and the cherubim, those do exist in those realms. Archangels, again, would be angel, which would be messenger. So it would be some kind of a hierarchy that is above a messenger. So maybe a perceived archangel would be a messenger that comes from the sky. So we'd have the arch messengers that come down and communicate with humanity. So maybe the traditional messenger, traditional angel, is a physical origin, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of those perceived angels walked among man, so therefore that would be physical messengers. So maybe an arc means comes from the stars. That opens up some new ideas, and now I may have to make a video about archangels because that's probably what the Hebrew roots were explaining, is that the ark comes from the stars. So very interesting. Those expelled from the universe are called fallen messengers, distinct from the heavenly hosts. And again, we have to look at what that means, right? Because there's no such thing as fallen, right? Now we are seated onto planets, and this is another term that I'll be breaking down as well as the term starseed, is that our souls all come from the stars, the Milky Way, and then we are seated on planets. So like currently we are, or myself, but a lot of us are seated here on planet Earth, and then we grow and create communities to keep creation going and flowing. So some new ideas that not many people look into. Angels in art are usually shaped like humans of extraordinary beauty, which again goes into the word Eden, which is of delightfulness, or a way of deception, right? Things that are pleasing to the eye. You're looking at the beauty of what's being presented without questioning what's being presented. They're often identified in Christian artwork, which is very true, with bird wings and halos and divine light and things of that nature. The word angel arrives in modern English from Old English angel with a hard G and the Old French angeli. Both of these derive from the late Latin angelos, which in turn was borrowed from late Greek, which literally just means messenger. So like again, we were not taught this stuff, so we just assume angel means something angelic, but at the end of the day it's just a messenger, which could be a physical origin, or from the stars of the sky, could be of spiritual origin through meditation. The world's earliest form is I don't even know how to say that. Akiro? Distantly in Dutch, blah blah blah. Let's see. The rendering Evangelos is the default translations of the word Malachi, which simply again means messenger. Let's see. With that, its nature in Latin. The meaning becomes when it's supposed to denote a human messenger. And it's supposed to denote it, like basically it's saying, oh no, it's not a human messenger, but there's no way of really proving it, right? Because we got these Hebrew roots that are very simple in nature, but because we have like the Western ears, or even Eastern knowledge as well, things have to be depicted in a certain way, which is why we have so many different pictures and idols that people worship for a way of identifying what's being presented to us as well. So we got to start taking the layers away and not be looking at things like this with assuming, right? Again, I was raised in this kind of stuff of this is how angels look, right? And an interesting fact, if you look into a lot of these angel pictures, a lot of them are light-skinned. Why are they light-skinned? Isn't that interesting? A lot of these ancient religious pictures are all light-skinned people. Very interesting. It's kind of like our history was being rewritten and was making us think that this was the only color, skin color, that existed. So, a little bit of treachery and trickery right there. So it's something that we got to pay attention to as well, because there was an agenda behind these pictures as well. And you know that with the pictures of Jesus was again light-skinned, and that is something that we have to realize, that there's some form of agenda that was being presented at that time frame, creating a validation of religion based upon certain elements that you had to look at a history of the reason why religion was used in that manner, right? But let's continue on. I think I've kind of proven my point in that area. Now here, again, this is a product of manipulation of the mind, right? So we perceive evil as beings that are grotesque looking, but how does it make it grotesque? We were taught this, right? We were taught that this was grotesque, right? So if you see someone who is burned that looks like this, that's going to scar you for life, and then you're going to say that individual is grotesque, and that's wrong, right? So we got to not be judging by appearance, right? Not judged by appearance, because if you see this here, you're going to be judging just by the look of this being. Just by the look of this being. So you need to view this being as just a being. We don't know the intent of it. Just because it looks that way, it does not mean that it's evil or that it's a bad person. We need to get to know these people, right? So this is a good way of looking at things, right? We got this being that people identify based upon their religion or what they were taught. But this is just a picture, and people are creating titles for this. As this is just a picture, and people are creating a title for it. It's a form of programming and mind control to get you into a certain program and state of mind. Hopefully that makes sense. It does to me. So let's continue on. Let's see, we got some other old depictions here, which I really believe that these are more of an armor, and these are probably used as some form of protection as well. But because they're winged in nature, therefore people think that they are some form of angel. So therefore, mind trickery as well. Like same here. Again, we're showing beauty, eye candy, mixed with different versions of wings, which are interesting. In a realistic perspective, there's no way you could fly with these, so therefore you have to use some form of levitation. So, what else we got here? Again, we got this guy here going, what in the world is going on here? And we got this messenger up here. Again, light-skinned. Don't know, man. So, yeah, so this being is looking like it's someone that is above you, right? See, if you look at this depiction here, as above, or as above, so below, right? So this being is being depicted as a someone that is above you, right? So this person here is all kneeling down, listening, going, whoa, who's this messenger? I'd be standing up, I'll be like, yo, who are you? You know, what's going on? Yeah, we're on equal playing grounds, and that's where you got to look at, right? Never let a being of any kind try to allow it to be of a higher value than you are, right? And I think it's important to read in the Bible, at least that's what I took from it, is to never bow down to an angel, because we're on equal playing fields, right? You question that messenger. I don't care what it looks like, whether it's a golden being, I don't care what it looks like, man. I'm going to question that being and be like, hey, yo, what's going on, man? Let's get to know each other, right? And we're not taught this. So a lot of people are in a state of confusion now when they have this happen. A lot of people have this happen. You hear it in testimonies. That they're like, oh, Jesus gave me this message, or this angel gave me this message, right? Well, did you ask the angel what the name was? Did you ask what that being's name was? Did you ask where the source of it came from? Things of that nature. I'm going to be asking questions. And we all should be, right? Because sometimes people will take the message literally when it could be a deception as well, right? Same thing right here. This is the process of duality as well. Again, we are taught that this is good, and we are taught that this is bad, right? Just because of the way it looks, right? For me, from an artwork standpoint, I like the visualization here because of the details and different shades of color and perspective, right? It looks cool from an artwork perspective, right? But from this standpoint, this is going to be based into your religion, right? This is going to be based upon how you view things. So again, you're taught this is good, you're taught this is bad, but you're not getting to know the person here, and you're not getting to know this person here, right? Not a creature, because if you're going to say it's a creature, then this is also a creature. So we've got a creature and a creature. We got a person, we got a person. Same thing. got to get to know that person and their true intent and will. Because what about this person's the evil one, and this person's the good one? This person's the guardian, this person's the person of deception. Goes into the perceived story of Lucifer, which again is a narrative that was created by the church and not the original narrative that was in Hebrew. So you got to do research on that as well. So got to look at that. Got to switch your mind around, man. Sometimes you have to do things in reverse. They taught you that this angel was good. They taught you that this was bad. Flip it. What about if that thing down there is good and this thing here, right? This thing is good and this thing is bad, right? Flip it. Question it. Dig deep into why these things look the way they are. So we're going to cut this short because I don't want these too long. I'm trying to make these as short as possible. So this is going to go into things that make a little more sense. So this is going to be a basic look of a Merkaba, right? And the reason why I bring this up here is, again, this is you, and we all have shields. Now these shields have to be maintained by you as an individual. If you do not maintain this, then you're going to get breakages and things are going to be able to come in and affect your physical body, right? So we have to learn how to shield ourselves. This is where our guides and guardians can help protect us, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to maintain this Merkaba. And if you look at it, it's very similar to angel wings, right? But it's all over our body. It's a sapphire, right? Same way with this kind of variation as well. And this is what I was talking about. Let's see if I can make it bigger here. I can't. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so a little blurry, but you get the basic transaction. So see this middle picture here? This is what the Bible tells you what a messenger from the spirit realm looks like, and this as well. Literally, this right here is their true form, right? So people are not going to be able to understand what this is. Human concept cannot understand what this is. I get what it is. I can get messages that way, but people don't know what this is. So it will start forming something like this, right? To kind of get something that you are familiar with. Let's get a head, let's get 2 hands, 2 feet. Familiarize yourself. So now it comprehends a little bit. And then that being there, this being here, is going to use something from your database of your belief and faith to make a final picture that is going to end up being something like this, or again something like this, right? So that being that we just saw is going to use this database here, so then you can comprehend what is being presented, because you can comprehend to this because this is what you're accustomed to. But the true form is going to be this. This is what we are. Like when you leave this realm, this is what you are. This is what you go into. This is to help you comprehend. And this is through its transformation. And then it's going to turn into whatever is going to make sense to you. So, in turn, you can end up even getting this guy right here. So, use this image right here to get the message across. So that's why it's important to use the power of discernment and not look at this and not look at this, right? You're going to be looking at this at the end of the day. This is what I'm accustomed to. This is what my understanding is, because I dig deep into this stuff because I didn't want to fall for the trickery, right? Because I knew a lot of it is imagination. The dreams is a realm of imagination, right? Visions is a realm of imagination. The spiritual reality is a realm of imagination. What is imagination? It is a form of creation. And creation manifests itself through imagery. Look, I got Dragon Ball Z in the background. We got some titles back here. This all spanned from the imagination, brought it into this reality. So that's exactly what this is. This is basically real time here. And this is what messengers do. This is what messengers do. So hopefully this helps you guys out. It gives you kind of a better maybe understanding or something that you never really put together, right? A lot of our religions and beliefs have taught us a selective narrative without going into full detail of what is presenting the message to us. Again, we learned today that angel simply means messenger. It doesn't really, in the Bible, it doesn't really tell you what form of messenger it is. So a lot of times when it says angel, a lot of these messengers were of physical reality. Now we do got the archangel variation, which I just learned when making this, that maybe arch means comes from the sky, right? Or comes from the spirit realm. So I'm going to look into that, make a video, follow up on archangels, because maybe that's a way the Hebrew depicted things, right? But again, we're not taught this stuff, so now we can learn it. We can learn together. This is what I'm familiar with, though. This is where we return from. This is where we came from. This is to help you make sense of things. See, we got the wings here, wings there. Makes a lot of sense. In the Bible, there's scriptures that depict this. And then they will use your imagination to create something that makes sense to you as well. And it could be an ET being for all we know. We don't know. We don't know the origin of these beings. Until you physically see that being in person, shaking their hand, sitting down, it's just the imagination at the end of the day. You can feel it, you can sense it, you're interacting with it, but still part of the imagination. So we got to really depict it and be questioning it. We're all on level playing fields. I don't care where this being came from. We're all on playing fields. And if that being tries to manipulate you, then you know its intent. Then you know its intent. So as long as the energy is balanced of love, honor, and respect, you should be good to go. But keep your shields up. Have a guide. Christ is my guide. Learn about your guides and guardians. Find out that they're real and not just a belief that we were told, and things of that nature as well. So hopefully this helps you out. If you've got any questions, concerns, leave comments, talk about it. What's your view on these things? Do you feel that your faith and belief overtakes what was presented here today? Does this open your eyes to new ideas of that we should have been taught this stuff? You know, how do you feel about this ideas and concepts as well? Have you ever experienced this stuff? I've experienced this stuff. Have you experienced this stuff? So leave it in the comments as well. So subscribe, share out, all that good stuff, and I will make another video soon. So love yourself, keep shining bright. I'll talk to y'all later as soon as I find the stop button here. So yeah, so talk to y'all later.